Okay, welcome all, and let's dive into day 9. The content, the topic for day 9 is the continuation of day 8. That is how we are, how we will be able to love our inner child. That is the process that we have discussed yesterday, and today also we'll continue that. So I hope my screen is visible. Ilpaji, the PDF is visible.
Yes,
Okay. Today, you use mirror work to forgive the past and begin to love the beautiful child within. So, we all have a beautiful child, and what an awesome job that we are going to do today. That we will be starting to know how to love our inner child, the beautiful child that is already there, but we are ignoring for all these days. And that can happen only when we understand what is our past and begin to forgive. How are you and your inner child doing today? Are you getting to know each other a little better? So, as I am reading, let's try to introspect at the same time. How are you and your inner child is doing today? Are you getting to know each other a little better? I have found that working with the inner child is extremely valuable in helping to heal the hurts of the past. We are not always in touch with the feelings of the frightened little child with us. We are not always in touch. This is the this is one of the issues which we need to address. We are not always in touch with the feelings of the frightened little inner child that is within us. Because we are not in touch, we are ignorant about the feeling what the inner child is going through. It could be a frightened situation or a kind of it is seeking attention, seeking love, seeking approval, whatever it is, because we are not in touch. That's why actually we are getting disconnected. If your childhood was full of fear and physical or verbal battles, you may have a habit of mentally beating yourself up. So, physical, what happens in the physical realm will have its own shadow in our mental level. When you do this, you are continuing to treat your inner child in much the same way. The child inside, however, has no place to go. So we are suffocating the child by ignoring and by not understanding its feelings. And we are actually indirectly we are mentally beating it up. Many of us have an inner child who is lost and lonely and feels rejected. Perhaps the only contact we had with our inner child for a long time is to scold and criticize it. Then we wonder why we are unhappy. We cannot reject a part of ourselves and still be in harmony with it. We cannot reject a part of ourselves and still be in harmony with him. So, very important line. Let's underline this. So it's like a part integration that we have. We know that's a process in NLP also. So it's a holistic approach. We cannot reject part of ourselves and still be in harmony with him. And that is the reason of unhappiness or unsatisfaction that many of us are facing in our day-to-day lives. Today, let's use our mirror work to move beyond our parents' limitations and connect with the little lost child inside. So, let's forgive the past and begin to love this beautiful child within. This child needs to know that we care. This child needs to know that we care. We care for the child within. And when can this happen? When we know how to connect and how to be in touch with our inner child, how to communicate continuously. Most of us have buried many feelings and hurts from the past. Learning to love your inner child is going to take time. Take all the time you need. Return to this exercise again and again. You will get there, I promise. So, it is not impossible, but it will take time. By the time, why it takes time? Because we have never communicated so far with our inner child. Nobody has told that there is such a concept exists, or we have not taken any time to listen to the inner voice. Your inner child still carries and believes you have developed early on. If your parents had rigid ideas and you are now very hard on yourself, or you tend to build walls around you, your inner child is probably your parents, still following your parents' rule. So these are the impressions that the inner child has got during the childhood days. If the parents are rigid, they have some rigid rules, and they have displayed those behaviors with their children in their tender age, then that rigidity carries forward in that child even when the child becomes adult. And in what sense actually it is evident? You are now very hard on yourself, or you tend to build walls around you, very much protective and very much maybe vulnerable also. If you continue to pick on yourself for every mistake, you must be very scary for your inner child to wake up in the morning thinking, what is my parent going to yell at me about today? Just like a child is worried or fearful if a parent is very much aggressive or rigid or unpredictable, similarly, the inner child is also having this fear that what my parent, our adult self, is going to tell me or yell me about today. What our parents did to us in the past was a product of their consciousness. We are the parents now. We are using our consciousness now. If you are still refusing to take care of your inner child, you are stuck in your own resentment. Invariably, that means there is someone you still need to forgive. Externally, we might not have anyone to forgive, but internally, we might still need to forgive someone which we have not identified yet, which we have not yet established the communication with. What resentment do you need to let go of? What haven't you forgiven yourself for? These are also very nice, deep, reflective questions. What resentment do you need to let go? What is the resentment that we have still within ourselves and we need to let go of? What have you not forgiven yourself for? For now, visualize that you are taking your inner child by the hand and going everywhere together for a few days. See what joyous experience you can have. This may sound silly, but please try it. So, we need to visualize that we are taking our inner child by the hand and going everywhere together. This in spirituality we do it. Maybe we are being aware of our higher self, super self, supreme Lord or God or universe, whatever names we have in our mind, to whom actually we trust and believe, we are together, and that helps a lot. Similarly, we have the option here, and the author is saying that visualize that you are taking your inner child by the hand and going everywhere together for a few days just to experiment. See what joyous experience you can have, and the, the result will be joyous. That is what author is predicting. This may sound silly, but please try it. It really works. Create a wonderful life for yourself and your inner child. The universe will respond, and you will find ways to heal your inner child and the adult in you, or adult you. So we are the adult, and the universe will respond, and we will find ways to heal our inner child with the response that we are getting. No matter what our early childhood was like, it may be happy or it may be sad. Me and only me are in charge of my life now. So this is very profound. In no case, however critical our parents or environment would be, we have no rights to blame. We are now here to take the charge of our own life. You can spend your time blaming your parents, or you can embrace love. The choice was and is with us only. How we are going to spend our time, that will decide the feelings or the outcome of emotions that we are going to feel or experience. So let's choose a better experience. We can embrace the love. Why to be in the blaming mode? Love is the biggest eraser I know. What a profound line. Love is the biggest eraser I know. It erases even the deepest and most painful memories, because love goes deeper than anything else. Sure, Penagich. Because love goes deeper than anything else. Think for a moment. Do you want a life of pain or one of joy? Do you want a life of pain or one of joy? The choice and power are always within you. Look into your eyes and love yourself and the little child within. Let's affirm, I love my inner child. I am in charge of my life now. I am in charge of my life now, and I love my inner child. Let the affirmation be so prominent in our thought process that we soak ourselves in the deepest realm of it. Now let's go to the mirror work exercise of day 9. We need to go to the bathroom mirror and look at the picture of ourselves as a child. So as a child that you tapped it yesterday. So there are two ways, just to revise. One way was like with our less dominant hand, we are to draw the picture of ourselves when we were child. That is one version. And second version was when we were around 5 years of age. Author has told to find out the photo of us. Either one is good enough to stick to our bathroom mirror, and that we have done already in yesterday's assignment. Then today, take a moment right now and tell your inner child that you care. You care. I care. Say these affirmations: I care about you. I love you. I really love you. I care about you by seeing the photo of your inner child or childhood photo. Sit in front of your mirror. We need to sit this also we have discussed yesterday. Not let's not do in a standing position. If you have a mirror, a dressing table or something in front of which you can sit, then it is okay to do there. Just ensure that no one is listening or judging. That is why bathroom mirror actually they authorize use. Otherwise, anywhere we can do it. If we can, or sit and look into a handheld mirror. Continue the conversation with your inner child that you began yesterday. You could open with an apology. Say something like, I am sorry, I have not talked to you over the years because we were also ignorant. So we never talked to talk to our inner child over the years. I am sorry. I scolded you for so long. I am sorry as I have scolded you for so long. I want to make up for all the time we spent apart from each other. So this is what is the final decision that we are telling, final apology to our inner child. We are saying, I'm sorry I have not talked to you over the years. I'm sorry I scolded you for such a long time. I want to make up for all the time we spent apart from each other. The fourth step is if you have not talked to your inner child in 50 or 60 years, it may take some time before you feel like you are reconnecting. So it will take some time, and that is perfectly fine because from such a long time we were not in connection. But be persistent. This is the key. If someone is persistent, irrespective of the time it is taking for us to realize to communicate better, it is okay. We need to persist, and eventually you will make a connection. That will definitely happen. You may feel the child inside you. You may hear the child inside you. You may even see the child inside you. Okay, you may even see the child inside you. Number fifth step is keep your tissue box nearby. It's okay to cry while you are talking to your inner child. Tears will help you to break through the connect with the child inside you. Tears will help you to break through and connect with the child inside you. The power is within you. Day 9 journaling exercise. The first step is when you were little, what did you really like to do? Let's introspect for a while. When we were child, what did I really like to do? It could be anything like playing, making some art, talking to the self, or watching some cartoons. So it could be anything. But let's introspect and find out what was it which I really like to do. Write down everything that comes to our mind. It need not be only one, it can be multiple also. When was the last time I did any of these things which I liked during my childhood days? Too often, the parent inside us will stop us from having fun because it is not the adult things to do. So, this is again a limiting belief that we should not have, or we should see how we can eliminate that. And the good part is the parent inside you the parent inside us will stop us from having the fun because it is not the adult thing to do. The second point is now put down your journal and go outside and play with your little child. Have fun. Do the silly things you loved to do when you were young, like jumping in a pile of leaves or running under the garden sparkle. Watch other children at play. It will bring bring back memories of the games you enjoyed. So bringing back the memories, this is the key thing that we are targeting, so that we can connect to our inner child better. If you want more fun in your life, make the connection with your inner child and come from that space of spontaneity. I promise that you will start having more fun. This is the promise that Louis A is giving to us. So this much we will complete, and day 9 meditation we'll do tomorrow because it's little lengthy one, and hastily reading will not be of any help. We'll do it slowly tomorrow, and we'll do together the meditative experience we'll have. Then your heart thought for day 9: I'm willing to change and grow. You are willing to learn new things because you do not know it all. You are willing to drop old concepts when they no longer work for you. We are willing to drop, we are willing to learn, right? So, why and whether we are able to do it properly or not, we need to see. You are willing to see your behavior and say, I do not want to do. You are willing to drop old concepts when they no longer work for you. You are willing to see your behavior and say, I do not want to do that anymore because it is not serving me anymore. You know you can become more of who you are. You know you can become more of what you are. This is the most important line in this full chapter, or maybe in the full book. You know you can be more of who you are, not whom I want or what I want, but what I am from within. That matters the most. Not become a better person, that would imply that you are not good enough, which is not true, but more of who you really are. Growing and changing is exciting, even if you have to look at some painful things within yourself in order to do so. Growing and changing is exciting. We need to acknowledge. If we are not acknowledging, then it is boring, or maybe we are not feeling up to our emotional level. Once we are able to connect with our inner child, then this becomes so exciting and easy. Growing and changing. Each of us actually want these two traits, but at times actually it is challenging. Even if you have to look at some painful things within yourself in order to do so. Even if you have to look at some painful things within yourself in order to do so, we will not come out of the excitement, we will not come out of the um, growth or better emotions. So even though some painful things come, then what we need to do, we just need to let them go at the very moment they appear in our mind. How to let them go? We have already discussed in some previous session, and one more method is we can become a detached observer and see the thoughts as cloud. They are coming and going. In particular, these negative thoughts, some painful moments. When it comes to memory, we can let go those situations also very easily if we are able to maintain to that state in most of the time. Now, this part we will be doing tomorrow. Your day in meditation, loving the inner child. So, if anyone wants to share anything, please feel free to share. Otherwise, we are done for the day, and this meditative experience we will be doing tomorrow together in a very soothing way, in a very slow manner, and we will feel it.
So, Bikashi, I think the heart thought, which is at the last of the reading session today, uh,
Uh-huh.
that is something which I am trying to be more conscious.
Mm-hmm.
When we say that to become a better person, it
Mm-hmm.
just means that we are not good enough. So we are just taking out of the energy from our side.
Yes.
So I think, I mean, in that context, I'm trying to adapt few more things. Like when we try to appreciate others constantly, we should also consider ourselves.
Yes.
Because we are giving positive energy to others, that's good, but we are taking out negative from our side most of the times. So in that context and this context, I feel like we should be more conscious when we are using, when we are appreciating, because we also have to take care of ourselves.
True. Very true.
That's how I'm doing this from last few months as
Yes. We
responsibility.
are. So, how to do this better is like when we go to the spiritual layer,
Hmm.
we are a powerful, unique, a pure soul. And at the soul level, every soul is innocent, every soul is pure, lovable, and every good qualities, good virtues are already there in the soul level. So, just invoke that state, and from that state, when we see, we are all good. We are just uncovering the garbages that is there on top of our pure being, pure core. So that way, if we see, then it is really becoming easier to appreciate ourselves, to accept, to love ourselves. When I say ourselves again, author is saying the inner child in us.
Correct.
Yeah.
Agree.
Thank you, Vikani, for sharing.
Bikashi,
Yes, yes,
I just would like to add something.
sure.
Again, to reference to what my predecessor spoke about, I just wonder. I mean, as parents, we always want our child to learn, like to grow, to become better, and that is it, to become better. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think during the childhood, as parents, we already tell our child, "You are not perfect. You still have to grow. You still have to become better." I think if we stop that and we say we add, it's just like a computer. The computer is perfect and it has to be updated. It has to, some other programs have to be run so that it can work in a certain manner. And it is the way it is. And remembering that we are God's child, so there's nothing imperfect in the nature. We consider weeds in the garden as
Very much.
imperfect,
Yes.
but that itself, the weeds have, they have their own necessity of being there. And since I've had a garden, I can tell you each and every weed you can there are some what we call weeds have turned out to be herbs, have turned out to be helpful for kidney ache, for urinary infections. So they all, everything, every atom on this planet, in this whole universe, has been planned with such precision that
Right.
there is nothing which is of waste. And going back to spirituality, I'm sorry, but I don't remember the name of the person. Please help me if you remember. There was this guy, no, who uh, he he killed 1,000 people. This thousand ungli fellow who had unglis around his.
Angulimala.
Ha. So
Angulimala.
Angulimala, yeah. So he killed so many people, but then he managed to meditate and achieve nirvana.
Hmm.
So this is what even in our spirituality, I mean the Indian spirituality, you always have space to grow if you want to grow in whichever direction you want to grow. There's nothing right or wrong. You just go. And this all blemishes that we put on ourselves, um, I just sometimes I think I should think of myself as as a computer, okay, and just keep updating myself, keep getting new programs in myself so that I can serve more. That's it. No more. We have this emotional aspect within us that makes us human and makes us different from being um, computers. We should use that emotional aspect too, but not for bashing ourselves, for appreciating ourselves and appreciating others. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes. And you beautifully explained. But one quick thing I want to add here: the words themselves doesn't have a greater significance. It is we who are going to add the meaning to it. If someone is adding a little different meaning when a better version is uttered, uh, versus another person when the same word, the better version or become better person is told, that person, if he or she is adding a meaning that okay, I am not good enough, that is why I am being told that let's become a better, or you become a better person, then that creates the whole difference. So the word itself doesn't have much issue. We can definitely use at many places, but the significance comes when we are in a particular context and we are giving the meaning to it. So let's be more focused on the meaning making side and always try to create the meaning in a positive note. That will bring a hell lot of difference. So that I have found actually in NLP. If you remember, we all actually present in this room. I think most of us have done the NLP course also, and this particular line I love like anything. Mind is a meaning making machine. So we have this brilliant instrument, mind, which can give meaning to any situation in the way we want it to work. If we are not giving the meaning, if we are not directing our mind to create the meaning which is serving us, which is helpful to us, then mind will automatically go to the memory and find out some similar patterns, some instances, and make its own meaning that is unconsciously coming up. So we have a choice whether to consciously create the meaning that is empowering, that is encouraging, that is enriching, or we let the mind go to the memory, and we have plenty of memory, humongous memory, out of which mind can go to the negative or to the positive. Generally, if we have not trained our mind, it will go directly to the negative part, negative memories, and create a negative meaning out of it. That's where all the issue comes. So that is where awareness and consciousness is so important to behold. So, so this is something which I wanted to add, so that let's become very conscious. While the words have its own significance, more than the words, let's focus on the meaning part of it. What meaning I am giving when I am saying this word. Becoming a better person is definitely not going to create any issue if we are not taking the meaning in that aspect. I hope I am clear, and you all are okay with this. Okay with this word, right? Okay. So, anything else anyone wants to add? Okay. Let's end the call today then. We will again meet tomorrow. We'll do. We'll start with the meditation for tomorrow, the day night meditation, and if time permits, then we'll go to the next chapter. Otherwise, the meditation itself is too big to continue consume the full session tomorrow. It will be really good because we are going to do it very slowly with a meditation experience. So do join in time and see you tomorrow. Have a great day ahead. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Silpati.